Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Comp MTDX. Hey everybody, see here we are in the lab and we have this FSP 300 power supply. It's a FSP model FSP 300-60THA parentheses 1. I have two of these units. The other one is the one that was sounding like a cicada, and this has been kind of acting really strange despite recapping. We're doing a partial recap of it. This one, however, simply does not start. It only provides 5-volt standby, which 5-volt standby is generated by a separate rail in the power supply. It's like a whole separate power supply within the power supply. So the 5-volt standby sometimes can work, but the rest of the unit simply won't work. What we're going to do is we're going to backfeed this unit to check for short circuits using this lab bench power supply, which current limits. That's important because if there is a short, we don't want to be sending a lot of current into the unit. So I've started out by setting the voltage to 3.3. We'll set the current down as far as we can, and I want to see how much current we'll have at a short circuit. The idea is to have a very small amount, like that's close to 400 milliamps. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I was thinking roughly a quarter. That's too much there. This thing's a little touchy. So 150 milliamps it is. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the black lead into a ground. I could also hook it to the case too if I really want to. I might just do that actually. I'll just have it sitting there in the case because the case is connected to common or ground. So we got our voltage set to 3.3. Let's backfeed the 3.3 volt rail and see if we have any short. And you can see we are actually current limiting a little bit there. I'm going to actually increase our current just a little bit. Okay, so I've increased the short circuit current maximum to 400 milliamps. Okay, so what we had to do is there is a bit of current that has to be, there is a bit of a load that has to be overcome when you first start the unit to charge up the output capacitors, and also the resistance drop across the dummy load resistors, because these switch mode supplies do require a minimum load to start. And you can see the 3.3 volt rail is pulling 330 milliamps. Okay, so now I'm going to increase the voltage to 5 volts. We're going to backfeed the +5. Which is the red wire. A lot less current draw on the 5 volt rail. What I probably should have done is I probably should have brought in the other unit that I have and seen what its sitting load is on the 3.3 volt rail. Alright, so that's the 5 volt rail. Let's go ahead and try out the 12 volt rail. So I'm going to increase the voltage to 12 volts. This unit actually, I believe, has two 12 volt rails. .8 is going to be good enough for this. Alright, so 12 volts. And there was quite a spike there at first. The reason why we had that is the capacitors in there have to charge up. So I'll demonstrate it again. And you can see the fan is indeed running. That's because we're backfeeding the 12-volt rail. So that spike in current was the capacitor charging up. You can see the fan came to a stop. We'll do it again. And we're drawing 12 milliamps. So again, it seems like this unit, it's almost like the load resistor on the 3.3 volt rail is much higher. All right, let's backfeed the other 12 volt rail. And that's funny, I backfeed the other 12 volt rail and the fan still starts up. So is this really a dual 12 volt power supply? Or a dual 12 volt rail power supply? That's questionable. Again, we're pulling 120 milliamps on the plus 12. Let's go back and revisit the 3.3 volt rail. And what I'm doing here is I'm just checking to see if there's any shorts in the outputs that may be preventing this thing from starting. So it does seem that the unit does not have any short circuits on its outputs, and we'll do the 12 volt rail again. For example, I backfeed the 12 volt rail, the fan's going to start up. So the unit does have fan speed control built in. And we're drawing just 120 milliamps. So we're drawing less current on the plus 12 volt rail than we are on the plus 3.3. But yeah, anyways, not to bore you out too much, that is backfeeding the rails on this unit to see if there's any shorts, and there appear to not be any shorts. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Well everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the computer channel, and be sure to tick that bell so you'll get notified when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget, I have a whole lot of other interesting videos here on the channel to check out. And also, in addition, I have a second channel, CubeComp MTDX, where I have all sorts of other videos not exactly related to technology. Links to the channels are available at the end of this video. Again, I thank you for your support, and thanks for watching this video.